Good evening, everybody. My name is Bryan Bailey, and this is EDU 688 Organizational Management Introduction video. I opted to do my introduction on YouTube, and which I'll provide everybody with a link. Let's talk about the 4 questions that Dr. Briegel posed to us, and I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I live in a small town called Wauchula, Florida, about an hour and a half, 2 hours the west side of Tampa, here in Florida. I am an education director / academic teacher for a large men's prison of almost 2,000 male inmates, as well as a 400-bed road prison where I oversee all GED and programs for a prison here for the Florida Department of Corrections. A little bit about myself. I do a lot of fishing. I do a lot of hog and turkey hunting. Also do a lot of role-playing games such as Warhammer 40,000, the Space Marines, and a lot of my co-workers who I went to college with, who are corrections officers, assistant wardens, maintenance workers. It's kind of sad where it's it's a hobby where we're 30 and 40-year-old guys, and one weekend, maybe 2 weekends a month, we all get together and we either do something like hog hunting, role-playing Space Marines, drinking beer, and having and barbecue with our families and such. I've been working in the education field with the Florida Department of Corrections for over 11 years, and I'm very competent in the field of adult education. Okay. I earned my dual bachelor's from Florida State University, go Seminoles. All right, and integrated social sciences, history, and special education were my areas of expertise. I'm a certified GED ABE instructor, as well as a certified TABE, which stands for Test of Adult Basic Education, GED and Pre-GED testing administrator. And one thing I really like about this, going to work every day, because it helps me, gives me a really good feeling when you're able to help an inmate, someone who's been marginalized by society, to do something positive with his life, such as getting a GED, or even something more intrinsic, such as learning how to read. Okay, so let me talk about the type of position that I hold here at the prison here outside of Tampa, Florida, in Wauchula. Like I said, I am a certified TABE, Pre-GED, and GED testing administrator. I pretty much do almost all the adult education type of teaching jobs. Besides ABE, ESOL, GED, I also handle Title I. Special education. I have lots of former inmates that aged out of the special education programs here at other prisons. Okay. On top of that, I'm also a manager for budget allocations. I'm an education supervisor, and I'm also the go-between between inmate programs and the wardens who run the prison here. So the Florida Department of Corrections, their model is this: they have one staff member who is pretty much a jack of all trades, and handles all the necessary situations when they arise. Okay, and for my future, ultimately, I want to become a regional education director, where I can help influence policy and procedure in Tallahassee. I also would like to be considered for an assistant warden of programs position, hopefully here in the next year or so after I finish my programs. All right. Something else to consider is that being a warden of programs or regional supervisors, you're an expert in the fields of classroom management, policy and procedure, testing skills, adult education, program management. Okay. So now let's talk about, let's go to the next thing here while I refer to my notes. All right. Let's talk about the leadership style. Okay. And the man who really influenced me to become an educator. All right, that man was Jimmy Bynum. Jimmy Bynum was a Title I teacher, at a prison over in Vero Beach, Florida, where I first started my DOC career. And the man was also an education professor at Indian River State College. Excuse me. And the man kind of took me under his wing because he saw that I had the drive and the passion and the concern to try to help inmates who, like I said, are persons less marginalized by society, to try to do something positive with their lives and to try to make the system a little bit better. Okay. Like I said, Jimmy Bynum's leadership style was transformative. Basically, he would bring all the stakeholders together, provide them with knowledge, how to make better decisions, okay, and be a part of the team, okay. And then when everybody is on the same page, okay, and everybody has the same power, positive things can happen, okay. And Dr. Bryan really didn't have any particular sayings like some of the other introductions I've read through from Thurman Biko and Veronica Newsom. But one thing that always stuck out to me, that what Dr. Jimmy always told me, all right, he said, help those who are seeking education, because you can open the door for these people, and then possibly you can make a positive impact. And having been keeping that in mind for over 11 years as a DOC director of education, I see that every day on my job. And a good specific example was I just recently tested 22 inmates with this new 2014 GED test, and the passing rate is not the best right now as compared to the old GED, where we would test anywhere from 20 to 30, 40 inmates at a time, and the passing rate was 75-80% or higher. But now the 20 inmates that tested, I was able to graduate 8 with a new high school diploma, and the other 12 actually made academic gains on this test, passing 1, 2, or 3 parts of the test. And I tell my inmate students, I say, guys, look, it's you and me versus the GED curriculum, okay? And I try to influence my inmates to stay on the same page when I'm teaching, or whether they're doing independent work. And I open the doors for them. I empower them to take ownership of their education, to be positive, and to say, look, you have your extrinsic and intrinsic ideas on getting this high school diploma. And when you get that, no one can ever take that away from you, okay? So now, in prior courses, I identified myself as a transformative leader. And it kind of goes back to what I thought about when the person who influenced me in my education. That again, it was Dr. Jimmy Bynum. And basically, a transformative leader will have all the stakeholders together. They'll reach a consensus. Okay, all right. Make all the stakeholders a part of the team. Okay. Now, if I have my way, all teams will be known as the Seminoles. Okay, but unfortunately, I know there's not a lot of FSU fans outside the state of Florida. But again, it goes back to what I say is I tell the students, okay, it is you and me as a tag team, the students, I mean GED students, versus the GED curriculum. Okay, and like I said, that you empower the inmates, you let them take ownership of their education with all the technological assistive aids, all the strategies, all the methods, and I have very good success. I must have graduated during the time of my career. Over 11 years, I have graduated almost close to 1,000 inmates with a high school diploma, and I'm very proud of that fact. So that is basically my introduction, and I thank you for watching my video, and I will post a link to the video here on YouTube shortly. Thank you, and have a good night.